Excuse me. It is so awesome to see everybody. And I had so much fun kind of bathing in this topic of the eight mindful, oh, what? The eight worldly winds. I should have called them the eight mindful winds because, yes, gain and loss. But I wrote down a sutta, and I just wanted to get some thoughts I'd had. And I never approached this as, just taking two and going 1 week with it. I've just done different stuff with it. So this is the sutta, and it was said by the Buddha, and it's about the eight worldly winds. So it goes: gain, loss, status, disgrace, censure, praise, pleasure, pain. These conditions among human beings are inconstant, impermanent, subject to change. Knowing this, the wise person, mindful, ponders these changing conditions. Desirable things don't charm the mind. Undesirable ones bring no resistance. They're welcoming and rebelling and scattered, gone to their end, do not exist. Knowing the dustless, sorrowless state, they discern rightly, have gone beyond becoming to the further shore. So what hit me this week is so many traps that I have discovered myself in. Yeah. And when I meditate, I can see them. They are tied to these eight worldly winds, and of course, these eight worldly winds are tied to the Four Noble Truths. It blends so easily across. And in Dharma recovery, the most obvious for me is addiction, first of all. And I think, why did I become a binge eater? Why did I choose to become an alcoholic? And I look at that, and there's a community with binge eating. I had buddies who binged, and I would binge with them. And being an alcoholic, often they were the same people, people I could drink with, and just drowned everything out. And it's very much pleasure and pain. If I had a bad day, I wanted to drink so I didn't feel the pain of that day, the disgrace or the censure or the pain or the loss. I did it to escape those things. So it had a built-in community and a built-in philosophy. And it was easy for me to tie into that. Then I think of materialism, what I want, like a 8,000 square foot McMansion in the hills. This is not something I want, but it is something, I've thought about, and I occasionally will find myself fantasizing about, and what would be different in that space as opposed to the warm, lovely, cozy house I'm in now. But I look at that, and having a car that everyone would look up to, and that they would perceive that I had wealth, and somehow maybe that would make me better than them. The idea of material wealth and power, and how that's a trap too. And it leads to nowhere. Then I think of dogmas I've been trapped in, political dogmas, dogmas of religion. I even look at my life and I'm careful not to get caught in the dogma that exists in and around Buddhism. And again, those dogmas have a community. There will always be people who agree with me, and if I stay in those dogmas, and if it's a church, people in the church, there's a community. If I'm online debating politics, there's going to be people who agree with me. A strong sense of othering, and these things that steer my thoughts and emotions when I embrace them. Just really destructive cliques that can steal my identity. So I'm careful. I try to remain curious about any debate or concept to see what's good and what's bad about my view, and what's good and what's bad about other people's views, and see if there's a better way using all the things we think about. I'm always careful with that. And then envy, where I get trapped in what I have is not enough, and that what another person has will make me happy. I remember people at work who were very popular, and I've never been super popular at work, although, I've been loved and respected and cared for, but I was never like one of the A squad. And I would look at that and I would feel like, why am I not in the A squad? Why do I not measure up with these people? People who I love and respect, so I have no anger towards them, but I just want what they have. And then I try to fix myself to make it happen as if it's some error in my nature. But the only error is for me to want that, because it traps me in the 8 worldly winds and in suffering. I have a few other things I want to read. This is chapter 46 of the Tao Te Ching. When the way governs the world, the proud stallions drag dung carriages. When the way is lost to the world, war horses are bred outside the city. There is no greater crime than desire. There is no greater disaster than discontent. There is no greater misfortune than greed. Therefore, to have enough of enough is always enough. And here's a quote from the great singer and prophet Sheryl Crow, song called Soak Up the Sun. It's not having what you want, it's wanting what you've got. I'm a person who still prays. Granted, I pray to something I do not understand fully. And I've learned that for me, the best prayer is may the best thing happen. It recognizes that all things are impermanent, all things fade away, and that my way is not the way. And to say that wholeheartedly just keeps me open in my practice. So it's a prayer I'll often do. I hear that someone's very sick and goes, oh, pray that they get better. Well, it may not be comforting to them, but I always pray. I say, may the best thing happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, maybe it has no impact at all, but every time I say that, I admit that I am not in charge. I want to do a little bit of chanting and a little bit of silence, as usual, at the end of this. Give us room to contemplate. And one of my new favorite chants I just learned and was just created. So it's one day at a time. Go slowly, breathe, and smile. I think it's amazing, and it's what I chanted this morning before I meditated. So we'll chant it again. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. Take a few minutes just to enjoy the silence. That quote was one day at a time plus some words from Thich Nhat Hanh, in case you were curious. So let's take a few minutes just to soak it in. Namaste. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be healthy and strong. May we be safe and protected. May we live with ease. Namaste.